Good morning, good afternoon, welcome wherever you are in the world to Apex Racing TV and the Grand Prix 247.com Star Mazda F1 series coming to you from Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. I'm Alex Simpson. I'm joined by Conrad Venter for round number 5 of the series. Watkins Glen, Conrad's was such a long time ago now, it feels like. But we're probably one of the most iconic racing circuits in any Formula 1 any calendar, to be honest. When you know you're making your trip to Spa, you know you're going to have a good weekend.
Yeah, everybody is back after a nice long summer break, and like you say, everybody, if you don't know about Spa and you're in the racing world, then there's something wrong with you. It is one of the most iconic circuits in the world, and it's one of the best to race as well.
Of course, the guys are going to struggle a little bit in qualifying. You want to push the car to the very edge, but as we know, on the sim, the track limits are right on the cusp of the curbs, and we see a lot of people invalidating laps. Taking a quick look at provisional qualifying times, just flashing up on the left there. Josh Anderson, so quick last time out as well. He's currently sat in provisional pole with a 2 minutes 18.6. We were only talking just a moment ago about Dan having quite a big gap, currently sat in second place with 2 minutes 19.6, but 1 second advantage for pole position at the moment. That is just crazy.
Yeah, Daniel Benefield was sat at the top in pole position for quite a bit. Josh Anderson just managed to squeeze that lap in a couple of seconds ago. Like I say, 9/10 of a second the gap from first to second at the moment. That is quite big, and you can see sort of little pockets forming at the moment, which should provide some groupings during the race.
Yeah, I currently got Stephen in third, followed by Aaron, then James, Martin, Carroll in there in sixth as well. So still a few guys out there. Some guys have parked it knowing that's about the best they're going to get. So it's going to be tough. Quite a few people not set times. There's 4 drivers there not set times. So I hope they can get out there and just put something on the board. Lachlan there. There's some issues perhaps with his connection, so he might not be able to make it. So we'll see, and we'll give you a rundown of the final qualifying standings when they happen. But just to focus our attention very, very quickly to the driver standings and the team points. But Aaron Hamilton leading the way. Aaron been very consistent in the Jaguar F1 team all season long on 56 points. Got Newton in second place in the 88 McLaren. He's not here this week. Other real life commitments, I'm afraid, have pulled him away from it. So he was closing in on Aaron, only on 46 points. But I feel like those two are going to have a fight all the way to the rest of the season. Long time left. He'll be back next week, but it's certainly not going to help him. Josh Anderson, again after that win last week, pulled himself up into third place on 44 points. So he's coming on very strong, looking good again today. I'm sure that he's going to be in that fight towards the end as well. Andrew Stokes. I don't see Stokes on the timing screen. No, Andrew's not here. That's such a shame. And we know Alex Marshall's away, who's in 5th place as well. So top 5. We're missing a few drivers, unfortunately, but I'm sure they will be back. Sorry, go on.
With a couple of guys missing, this should really provide Joshua Anderson with a great opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
In a good position for the
Josh and Aaron. If those two can have a good race, they're really going to pull away from the rest of the pack. So, the team championship. So it's the McLaren 88 team on 77 points, Jaguar F1 on 74, Ferrari on 46, McLaren Honda 2015 is on 44, Benetton F1 on 28, that's your top 5, Williams Renault just behind that with Leighton House, and the West McLaren there in 8th place as well. So some classic team names in there. They're hoping to all recruit at the moment. I've just seen that there's been some extra grid spots, so head on over to the iRacing forum, private league section, and put your name down if you want to come and have a little play. All these, if you're watching this back on YouTube. These races go on Saturday mornings in the UK time anyway. So that is, I'm trying to think, it's 9 o'clock GMT, doesn't it? Practice and qualifying start, sorry. So yeah, it should give you an idea if you're up and about at that time. I imagine it's going to fit mainly sort of Europeans and further towards the east rather than any Americans out there. It's going to be crazy early in the morning if you want to take part, but by all means sign up, there's plenty of places left, and I know Fuji, who organises the series, definitely looking to try and get more drivers in. There is a prize up for grabs if we can build the numbers up in the series as well. I think if we can get sort of in the mid to high 20s, 30s, then going to try and get hold of some tickets for the Singapore Grand Prix for the winner. So yeah, tell your friend, tell your teammates, get on here, and let's see if you can get hold of the prize that is what I must imagine would be one of the greatest F1 races to actually to watch live. You know, Singapore, up in some of those towers or at the racetrack, floodlit, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine these cars, the F1 cars going around the track at night? I was lucky enough to go to Silverstone myself this year, and watching those cars going around some of those corners are awesome. So yeah, watching them at night under floodlit lights on a street circuit, that'd just be great fun.
Right, let's just take a quick look. We're 2 minutes away. I think, looking at lap times, everybody's pretty much going to be starting their laps. Where is everybody? Have we got anyone just about to start another one? So I think we have everyone.
We've got a couple of people. Daniel Benefield's in the pits. Vladimir is in the pits as well. So there's quite a few that's decided on their lap times and not going out again.
Yeah, Martin Carroll's just got through the start-finish line as well, so he's gone through a Rouge, so he's going to have one more lap. Just have a look at anybody else going to make it through. Yeah, there's a couple actually that have just gone through turn 1, so James there, James Keane. Keep an eye on these guys, see what they do.
Aaron Hamilton is just crossing the start-finish line as well to start his last lap.
Aaron's only a tenth of a second behind Stephen in the current qualifying order, so there's a good chance that good lap could see him just jump up there, third place, be a little bit happier. 2 tenths of a, well, sorry, not 2 tenths. What does he need? I mean, he's 9 tenths of a second to get to Daniel, so it's going to be a tall order, but you never know. Rouge, of course, only just had some new curbs added to it in the real life. I think they look dangerous, if I have to say myself.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a sausage curb that they've stuck on top of it.
It does. It just looks crazy when you're going through there flat out. The speeds they're going through, it just looks, yeah, just balmy that they would put that there. Cars must get light coming over there as it is, and then you put that thing on. I'm not quite sure where the safeties come into it. Yeah, you don't want drivers to cut the corners and things like that up the top there. But yeah, some of those cars, they're doing sort of 170 miles an hour, 180 miles an hour, and the F1 cars now, they must be more than that, because you know they're doing sort of what 215 at the end of that straight.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see the drivers, especially on an opening lap, take as many risks as they might have done in the past. And the last thing you want going through there is a car getting airborne with 22 other or 21 other cars surrounding it.
Well, fortunately, our drivers here haven't got to deal with that, so they'll all be chopping over there. But of course, we've got an off-track penalty that they have to watch out for, and we've seen many a victim on there in previous broadcasts, so it could well spice things up a little bit, especially if Josh or Dan get something on that first lap and they're going to have to work their way through.
Yeah, you did mention earlier how easy it is to pick up off-track penalties on this track, and they only get 12 for the duration of the race. So fair amount of discipline is going to be required to make it to the end without getting disqualified.
Yeah, 22 laps today, so we're looking at about an hour long for the race. 22 laps, it's easy to get 2 or 3 off tracks every lap, isn't it? So yeah, these guys are really going to have to be careful while trying to be on the edge as well. See how many survive, I think.
Yeah, I think that's just about everybody done with their quali laps as well. I can see Joshua Anderson is still out there. No, he's just pulled off the track, so I think that is that.
Yeah, well, he was coming out of the pits, but I think he's realised there's no time left. Oh, no, practice start.
To start.
Fairly sensible, I think. Right, Conrad, would you be able to take us through the qualifying results?
Yeah, pole position, we've got Joshua Anderson with a 2 minutes 18.689. Second place is Daniel Benefield. Then we've got Martin Carroll in third. James Key next to him in fourth place. Fifth place is Steven Strumpf and Aaron Hamilton making up the third row with him. Vladimir Marchevsky in seventh place. Pierre-Emmanuel Obenench in eighth place. AJ Bear in ninth. And Amir Farid Abdul Ghani in 10th place. The 6th row is Tai Tran and Fuji Sotono. 7th row is Christopher Befau and Mod Fasil Sata, Kent Walker, and Lachlan Hall makes up the 8th row. And then in 17th place, not sure if he's actually racing, is Lachlan Crow.
Yeah, not too sure. There's a few drivers there not set laps. We'll see if they take to the grid. It'd be nice to see them all on there. 14's going to look a little bit bare at Spa.
Yeah, I think we've seen Kent Walker in the active in the session as well as Lachlan, but I think Mr. Crow might have left just before the start of quali. I mean, these little cars look great just gridding up with the F1 liveries on them.
Yeah, all the painters done a great job actually. Some iconic liveries out there as well. So
what's great as well, the real life McLaren team might want to have a look, because the McLaren teams in this series are doing a whole lot better than their real life team.
Yeah. Yeah, just something with the Honda at the moment, isn't it? Just killing them at the moment. Sure, there's some bits on the car that could obviously be improved as well, but yeah, I'm sure they'll get it there. There's Honda deliver the performance eventually, so it'll take a little while.
Oh, we're just waiting for a couple of guys to grid up. It looks like Mr. Benefield is still sat in the pits. Martin Carroll as well. Well, these I mean, we know it's fuel restricted and does require a pit stop, but is the races generally that tight on fuel that they have to eke it out on?
Yeah, not really, but this might be a bit of a different race. I haven't spoke to anyone about fuel mileage for this one, so it could be right on the cusp. Let's have a look, see where the bulk of the grid come in as we're going green here at Spa. Someone of these not got off the line at all. They're still sat there. That's a Ferrari back there. Who is that?
It looks like Tai Tran. That's let's have a little look back. Yeah, it was Tai Tran. He didn't get off the line, but he's got going now. Just going through turn 1.
Oh, Benefield into Eau Rouge takes Josh there as well. So Joshua. Oh, there's a few off tracks just further back as well. So everybody funneling through Eau Rouge. Okay, lots of slipstream in now going into Lecombe. Martin Carroll has got the best run. He's now past Benefield as well. That just goes to show what the slipstream's like in this car. And then Josh got back past Benefield as well. So Benefield made a great move in Eau Rouge there, just trying to imitate his countryman Mark Webber on Alonso, but fortunately the slipstream's so strong that Josh was able to get back past, and now James Keane is having a little look on the inside of Benefield. Benefield's going to have the inside for No Name Corner, and settles in third place. Everybody almost single file now going into P1.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Carroll wide. Carroll wide at P1. That's going to leave. It's going to let Josh jump straight to the lead. It has indeed. They're too wide further back. Benefield round the outside of Carroll. Just make a little mistake there, and I think it looked like Carroll got a little bit loose and just had to let the car bleed out wide there.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to wait for the tires to come up to the right pressures and find some temperature. You've got to really put your foot down in this little car.
You're a lot more up to speed in this car than I am, Conrad, as well. Just tell us a little bit about these opening laps, because you mentioned there obviously about the tyres and that. So it's going to be a bit tricky for the guys to battle these first few laps.
Yeah, I've been running the car a little bit this season in the official series, and I mean, depending on as Daniel just sticks a nose up the inside of Joshua Anderson coming into the final chicane. Nearly made some contact, and he's taking first place. Yeah, it's just depending on the tire pressures you run, especially with having the dynamic weather that we've got in the series. The first couple of laps, the car's just a little bit unsettled, and it's a little bit slippery until you get the pressures up and the temperature into it. So especially around the quicker corners where you just have to lift a little bit, you just have to make sure you don't overdo it.
Josh on the grass trying to get his nose up the inside of Benefield. Benefield gave him the room coming out of the little kink, but yeah, that was almost disaster. And here comes James Keane. I think right now the guys, what they must do is they know how fast Josh is. They just need to stick on his tail. They can get a run to get by him, then do it, because obviously it keeps him pegged back a little bit. But from second and third, they can't afford to start battling, because that's just going to let the driver of that McLaren car just absolutely fly away. Also worth pointing out, Martin Carroll's dropped a little bit like a stone after getting to the lead in the first lap. By the end of it, he was down in 5th place.
Yeah, when you get that little tail movement which he had coming through Pouon, it just it gives you a little bit of doubt, and more often than not, you just sort of back off for the next lap or two, just to make sure there's you didn't pick up a knock somewhere, and that everything is still well with the car.
He had a little look to try and get past Pierre. And this is exactly what I just said. Look at that little side-by-side battle going through Vanya's chicane there. And all of a sudden, they're 2.2 seconds back from James Keane and outside of the slipstream. So their race, trying to hold on to that front pack, is, well, pretty much impossible now. They're going to have to sort of work together and try and close in. I just can't see it happening. Josh is so fast out front.
Yeah, it's always the problem here. You get,
Pierre around the outside, not giving up at all. Back, so more battling, more time lost. It's 3 seconds now, and a little mistake from Pierre on the exit there at the bus stop as well. Make that 3.3 seconds. There you go. That's how quickly it can just change. So we're only on lap 3, so it's their front 3 is away, and actually they're starting to battle as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, they were battling all the way through the final chicane, the bus stop chicane as well, and James Keane did take second place going into turn 1, and Daniel Benefield has just come straight past him again.
Oh, we might have someone off. Oh, we've got a crash, big crash. Aaron Hamilton, our championship leader, and Martin Carroll involved in that. Let's take a quick look back, see what happened there. So at the top of Eau Rouge, so it's I'm trying to think what they call this. Do they call that Radion? I'm not sure now. I can't remember the name. In my head. Quick look, see what has happened here. So, Carroll was side by side with Pierre. Oh, they just got into each other, and then and then Hamilton, of course, carried so much more momentum. Tried to go to the outside. Carroll was still sort of slipping and sliding around, and it's put him into the tyre wall. That is his race done and dusted. Yeah, he's not going to come out of this race championship lead anymore, guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best you can hope for is they do get 3 fast repairs, is to get back to the pits, get the car repaired, and damage limitation to see if you can end up getting maybe a point.
Yeah, well, he's not going to have to take a fast tyre. The car was absolutely crippled, so it's going to be quicker to do that than it is try and drive that around. So done that. So you're right, we will see him back out on track, and we've picked up on the point that there could well be a lot of disqualifications in this race. I mean, that's 4 instant points there, and there's been some other off tracks already, so could well be, as Bennyfield has a little look around the outside of the bus stop. He's made that work, and Anderson jumps into the pits, decides that he wants to get out of it. He knows he's quicker than these guys, and he's not going to let them slipstream. So we said about the fuel mileage, whether it was close, I think we can agree right now that it absolutely is not at all, and he's going to be able to make it from here. So huge pit window today.
I think that's a very smart call from Joshua Anderson there. I'm just looking on my timing screen. Joshua Anderson, first couple of laps, already picked up 7 incident points. So I mean, he's only got 5 to work with for the rest of the race. So getting out of a fight where he needs to go off track is a very smart move. He's in the pits. There's a pretty good pit stop as well. Stationary for 7.7 seconds. And he's out again. Another guy that's right on the edge is the number 404 car, Vladimir Mochevsky. He's on 9 incident points, so he's right in there as well.
Wow, that's only after 4 laps. That's just crazy.
And then another one to keep an eye on is the guy who's currently running in 3rd place, Pierre Emmanuel. He's on 8 incident points. So I mean, these guys, yeah, going at it, hammer and tongs for the first couple of laps has not worked out well for them. With now, apart from checking the guys around you, you're going to have to check your incidents as well.
So James made a move on Daniel there for 1st place. We saw that slipstream effect going down the Kemmel straight into Lecumbe. Daniel didn't fight it too much. I wonder what Daniel will do now, because if I'm him, I jump in and hope that my outlap's been fairly reasonable and I haven't lost too much time on Josh. Or do you just try and stick with James and work together and slipstream each other, pick up a half a second every lap by exchanging positions on the Kemmel straight or something like that? It's a tough one.
Well, I suppose it depends on if they're actually talking during the race, and if they can agree to work with each other instead of fighting each other the whole way.
Yeah, well, they're fighting, so that's that.
Yeah.
Basically, that I think just there, that one lap has just said to them, or said to me, that they're not going to, they're not going to come out right on Josh's tail.
I would just have a look. Joshua Anderson, obviously, I think he's still on his outlap. Let's see what the time difference is between what those two up front are doing and what Joshua is doing.
Getting a little word in my ear from a sort of pit lane reporter, if you would have it, that actually what it's going to look like now is that it's going to be 2 stops for Josh, but it might be possible to make it on 1 if they can save enough fuel in this first stint. So
Joshua Benefield? No, Daniel Benefield, sorry. And James Keen getting really close to each other during through some of those corners. They're really hurting their own chances here, aren't they?
Well, if they're going for a 1 stop, then no, they can fight as much as they want. But if they can't make it, you're right, all of this battling is just costing them huge time. So yeah, quite surprised, I have to say. If I had a pit lane reporter that might have been in radio chat, then yeah, maybe just jump there and and tell them just to settle in behind and go from there. Looks like we've got Aaron Hamilton waiting to have a little chat with us. Bring him up. Aaron, we saw your incident, absolute disaster for today, not good for the championship at all. You must be gutted because they were fighting, you had nothing to do with it whatsoever, but you were the one that come off worse.
Yeah, it's a shame because I saw they had a little collision. I had to do quite a bit to scrub off the speed, and then I tried to go wide around Marty, and I sort of turned in a little into the back of him, but he had a really odd trajectory. You know, he messaged me, he said he was just trying to, you know, they had a bit of contact and maybe he was trying to go wide to get out of the way, so it's fairly unfortunate because I was going for a one stop there. It was possible and could have put me in a competitive position.
Yeah, well, we're just actually hearing word about the one stop now. Obviously Josh has committed himself to a 2-stop by pitting on lap 4, so these guys battling quite hard out there at the moment. You know, maybe you can shed some light on it, but it just looks like they're hurting their chances if they can't make it on a one stop right now, because they're just losing all this time fighting with each other at the moment.
Yeah, but you know, Josh has gone to the pits, he won't be doing a one stop. I know James isn't, and I doubt Daniel is either, so I think the first time they found out about it was about a minute before the race started that it was possible, so I'm sure they're all going for a 2-stop, but you know, one stop's definitely possible, yeah. It's tight, but possible.
Well, obviously you've got to bounce back for the next round, which I'm just frantically clicking around to see where we are next. Where are we? Monza next as well, so that's the 5th of September, so a little wait until the next round, but Monza, well, if Spa was a draft track, Monza's going to be even worse, I think.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to that one. Monza's a great track and a lot of fun there, a lot of good passing opportunities, so yeah, I guess we'll wait until then and see if we get the right setup together and the right strategy, maybe able to take it. But Josh is very fast, can't discount that.
Well, unlucky today, mate. Hopefully, like I say, you'll bounce back for the next round, but yeah, go enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Aaron Hamilton there sounded a little dejected to have had to hit the showers after only was it 3 laps there.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, he was sitting back there, you know, minding his own business, and then to get tangled up in somebody else's problems is always a frustrating thing.
Looking at the battle now on screen, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Between Pierre, Amir and Kent. They're still exchanging positions up front, but I think they're going to do that for the rest of the race at this point. But this battle's slowly been forming up as Amir has a little look to the inside of the Ferrari. That's late, that's very late on the brakes. Oh, he just about manages.
Oh, well done.
Just about manages to hold it together there somehow. It looked like he was all out of control. We were on board for a split second there. But wow, he just, just about gets it. And look at Pierre, actually, he lost out big time from there, and then picked up a place in turn 1. So this is turned into a great little battle as well.
I'm just having a look at the incidents guys have picked up. Pierre is now on 15. I mean, he's obviously still going. There's been no disqualification there. I'm wondering if they've got a bigger incident limit available to them than we initially thought.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if the officials have said something in any kind of driver's briefing or anything like that to extend it, because we know how tricky it is around here. But yeah, it seems like the guys are still battling hard out there, so they're not too concerned by it.
You know what? I think Amir's got a bit of damage on that Williams of his. It almost looks like the left-hand side pod is completely gone.
Yeah, Pierre also looks like he's got some side pod damage. We were just on board with Amir a moment ago and just saw that side pod. Oh, there goes Carroll. Carroll's around. Oh no, sorry, it's Kent, isn't it? Kent Walker there, is it? Who is that?
Steven Scrumpf.
Oh, it's a back marker. That makes some sense.
Yeah, that Jordan just hasn't been happy going around Bouillon for the whole race.
Take a quick look at it back, see exactly what happened, see if we can jump on board. No, that's just the very end of it. Yeah, it does a 360 actually, carries on going. He did tag the wall, so got a little bit more rear wing damage. He was struggling already through Pouan. That's just going to make it a whole load worse.
Just a little update on those two at the front. They're sort of doing anywhere between a mid 2-minute 20 to a low 2-minute 21 at the moment. Joshua Anderson, since he came out of the pits, has closed the gap and is now just over 13 seconds behind them.
Yeah, that's
since he came out of the pits, it's not that long ago. He's closed the gap by nearly around about 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's just crazy. That just goes to show what the time costing them. It was a 2-minute 20.7 for Benningfield the last time by. Has Josh come across the line yet? Josh has gone across the line. There was a 1:19.8, so 9/10 of a second taken out there. So yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't. That they didn't jump. Well, at least one of them didn't jump straight in the very next lap when it appeared Josh was coming in. But strategically from Josh, that was such a good call to come in early. Especially now we know that they can make really long distance on the fuel. Effectively just pulled himself out of that battle at the front. Was just using drivers ahead of him to slipstream up and overtake. He's got enough pace on those to be able to stay ahead. I think maybe once he gets up to people like Kent and Emir, if they're still there and haven't pitted by that point, they might be able to tag along with him. But right now, like he's coming up on Fuji just won't have the pace once he gets by him to be able to stick with him, I think. Although Fuji does make it a little bit harder to get a move done through Pouan.
And there he goes. He's now got a nice bit of clean air to run up to Walker. It's about a 9-second gap to get to Kent Walker, but yeah, I think once he gets up to Amir, Amir's going to be a sitting duck. He's really struggling with the car.
Yeah, dropped off Pierre quite a bit in a couple of laps, 2.3 seconds now, so yeah, almost into the bus stop already.
Oh, and James Keen's in the pits.
Lap 9. Well, this, not surprised. I mean, the guy said, it was possible on a one-stop, so we're getting close to that one-stop range. Benningfield's still out there. How long this pit stop? That's 7.7 seconds for him as well. Anderson's not by him, This is absolutely shocked me. I thought he would be long gone. And actually,
that is a rather good point.
Yeah, Anderson's actually 2.3 seconds behind him. So all this time we thought he was just eating into their gap. He has been, but there was some sort of issue with traffic or pit lane or something that's cost Anderson some time, pit lane exit or something like that. I don't really know what it is, but
I'm just gonna have a look at the outlaps. Anderson's outlap was a 2-minute 42.5.
What was his in lap?
That was a 2-minute 28.
3 seconds there, I have to say. James was 2:25 for an in lap, but he's been catching nearly a second up a lap, and that was from 6 laps ago. So yeah, I would have put him about 3 or 4 seconds ahead at this point, not 2 seconds behind. So yeah, something that we might have missed. There'd been one bad lap or something like that. There was nearly a bad lap there, as Stephen got himself back around to Pouan. What did I say? I said it was bad before. It's going to be even worse. Got rear wing damage, and he must have drove into that corner expecting it to handle as bad as normal, but not any worse. And yes, that's it. That's it. Race over for him, I think.
it's we saw I think Carroll on the first lap, also in a Jordan, getting a bit squirrely around Puyan, and his teammate in the Jordan just stuck his nose into that barrier twice in about as many laps. We've got Pierre-Emmanuel Benench in the pits as well.
Yeah, and Kent just went into the pits as well. He was closing in on Daniel's in as well, I think, Benenfield. So yeah, Kent was just closing in on. Oh God, who do I want to say? Amir. Sorry. So.
Benefield just had a really long pit stop.
12.8 seconds.
Yeah, 12.8 seconds.
He's not going to be able to make it from here. We're only on lap 10.
So he's lost out to James Dean there. Well, about 5 seconds in that round of pit stops.
Yeah, now if he'd have made it to lap 11, I could have expected him to have done the one stop. But he's 1 lap short, so didn't save enough fuel in the first stint. The job is even harder for the next one. We'll see. Never know.
No.
All or nothing, I think, for Daniel at this point. Gonna have to do a lot of lift and coast to make this work. Kent Walker though, Kent is still out there. He's going to pit in going on to lap 11. I think even that is, well, that's if he pits this time, but even that's still a little bit short, if I'm honest. You want to pit at the end of lap 11 to make it happen.
Just afford yourself that little bit of luxury of not having to worry about the fuel. I mean, do the hard work in the first stint.
Good little battle starting to form up at the moment. And that is for 8th, 9th and 10th. That's Fuji Sartono, Vladimir Marchevsky and Christopher Buffet there as well. So they're separated by about 2.5 seconds at the moment. I've got Backmarker just behind them as well. But yeah, I think they're slowly working their way to each other. It looks to me as if everybody has had a pit stop there as well, so it's a straight-on fight between them now.
Yeah, the only person that hasn't been to the pits yet is Tai Tran, who's currently running in 6th place.
Yeah, as Kent's in, so I pretty much thought that he would be in this lap, but now he's got more of a chance to make it, I have to say, but than Benenfield. And based on where he was after the pit stop there, still quite a way out front, he could conserve it. He could well be a surprise victor here, as we've got Anderson closing back in on James. Going to be a move for the lead.
Oh, we've just lost Kent Walker.
He's still in the pits, isn't he?
Had a little moment with his connection.
Anderson through, round the outside, going into Lacombe. Fairly orthodox overtake when you've got that much overrun on speed. Very difficult for the drivers to defend that. And Tranton as well. Yep. So now he was at the end of lap 10 as well, wasn't he? So potentially could be there. He won't be lapped. He was only 40 seconds behind as he come into the pits. So. Might be close at the end of the race, but I can't see it.
I was just seeing in the sim chat the Joshua Anderson trying to be the voice of reason here, and asking for the car behind him not to battle, so they can work together and get away from. I assume the only person who's really within striking distance is Daniel Benefield.
Yeah, well, it actually takes one of them to be sensible, I guess, and do that. And frankly, James could just sit behind Josh and pull away from Benefield. So Benefield and James should have spoke to each other on the chat and done exactly the same. they'd have worked together, they could have lapped a half a second a lap faster, and Josh would still be closing in on them right now rather than the other way around. So
yeah, I suppose another thing to think about is the amount of fuel you could save by working together. Do a couple of laps of lift and coast, and then maybe swap around and return the favor, and switch it to a one-stopper, and by fighting from one corner into the next one, you're just going to use so much more fuel.
Benfield has closed up a little bit. It was 3.8 seconds down to 3.7. That time by was a 1:19.5, so he caught up 0.4 of a second on James. We lost time on Josh. I think you're right. If James fights, then they're going to get caught by Benfield. If he doesn't, which I have to say, he didn't even look like he was going to attempt to move that time going into Lacombe. He was a little far back, but he didn't close in at all towards the end. So yeah, this doesn't look good for Benfield. He has got a lot of fuel, and he will have a short stop at the end of the race, which will be a good thing for him. But if he loses 7 or 8 seconds now in this stint, then it's not going to make any difference whatsoever.
And when Joshua Anderson saying there's not very long before he makes his second pit stop. I mean, for his own interest as well. At least he needs to put himself in a position where he's going to come out in front of the heavy traffic that's following behind them. And currently that gap is around about 30 odd seconds, so he's going to need another 4 or 5 seconds to clear that traffic.
Yeah, Pierre sat in 4th place at the moment, Kent in 5th, another 7.5 seconds back. I think he's okay. I mean, 47 seconds is Vladimir and Emir, and they're quite close, and that would be a bit more tricky to work his way through. So yeah, I think he'll be fairly safe, if I'm honest. Over halfway distance now as well. Sorry, Conrad.
Oh, James Keen's in the pits.
James in very early. Well, he's clearly going to go to the end. So.
Oh well, we just saw Anderson saying that he is coming in the next lap. So I'm wondering if James Keen didn't just quickly make a call on the run there to pit a lap early and see if he can get the jump on Anderson.
Yeah, I think he realised he wants to be tucked up in that draft. He doesn't want to be behind. You can see that he's pulling away from Benfield. Benfield's committed to going long now, regardless, because of the length of time. This is a long stop from James, 12.9 seconds. So yeah, it's going to be. I tell you what, the battle really is going to be for P2. I think Josh has got so much pace. As long as he doesn't make any kind of mistake, could wrap this race up. He's going to have a similar sort of pit stop again, I imagine, somewhere around about the 7.5, 8 seconds when he comes in this lap. But yeah, Benfield only going to have a 3 or 4 second stop, so that's really where the battle is for me now, P2.
Oh, so James Keen, he's just come out of the pits, up Kimmel straight, and Pierre Manuel is having a little look up his inside. This is really not what James Keen needed. Right, he's got that Ferrari in front of him now. And this is going to cost him some time to go along with, which was a rather long stop.
Yeah, well, we said we thought that he needed, Anderson needed a couple more laps to clear the traffic, and there's the proof in the pudding. Really, just a little bit too close, was able to grab the draft and go from there. And James now having a little look in pull, and that's going to slow him down even further. And I think, I honestly think the damage is already done. We'll see when Josh comes out. That slow pit stop that he's going to have, well, slower. I think might just keep him, what, 2-3 seconds? I say slower, quicker. I mean, shorter time. There we go. We'll get it right.
Here we go, McLaren coming. Yeah.
Pierre's gone. Is that disqualification? take a quick look back, see exactly what happened.
I will have a quick look for you.
Going through Fanya right now. He run out wide. Not got the best camera angle there. Oh, he does. He runs out wide, picks up an off track. That's it. Race over. So disqualification rules definitely are in place. How many instant points did he pick up?
That was his 22nd. So
Benfield in. So Benfield obviously can't make it. Well, we knew he couldn't. So no, sorry, Benefield's not in. My mistake. That's Anderson in, just hidden behind the pit wall at the moment. So
Benefield was in.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, he is in. Yeah, he's in as well. So
and he's come out in front
pit
of.
wall's so high we can't see anything.
He's come out in front of James Keen.
There we go. Oh, I'm still watching on replay as well. My apologies.
And Joshua Anderson had a very long pit stop. He's dropped down to 3rd. Benefield jumped both of them.
Right,
and there's a significant gap between the 3 of them now.
I'm just going to jump it back onto replay a little bit because we just need to watch that all unfold a bit. Really, there we totally missed that with camera action. Camera not picking up the right shot there at all.
Yeah, Anderson had a pit stop of 15 seconds. He was stationary for 15 seconds. Benefield was stationary for 9.1.
Yeah, well, obviously he took an extra bunch of fuel in that second stop, and he jumped in really, really early. I'm surprised he jumped in early, I have to say. Wish he could have gone a lot longer. He had clear track, although he's got clear track now. But yeah, 9.3 seconds compared to James Key 12.9. So, but obviously a good pit in as well, because Dan was about 5 seconds back from James. He certainly hasn't got that with just the pits. But yeah, Josh, absolute shocker. Of course, he hasn't got to worry about any traffic. Are they close enough to each other? Let's we jump back live again to.
No, Benefield's currently got about a 3-second gap over James Keen. Joshua Anderson is.
About second back,
sorry,
isn't
I'm
he?
trying to figure out.
Yeah, it looks about a second to me on screen at the moment.
So yeah,
live timing just not quite working.
Them two will close up and run with each other. The question is just, will they be able to work together to catch up with Daniel Benefield?
Question: Dan's pit stop strategy when he came in, took all that extra fuel. We thought, he should have perhaps jumped in behind Josh and then gone again. With a short stop, but I have to say it's all working out quite nicely for him at the moment. We still have 8 laps of this race to go. We know that Josh is about a second a lap faster, so 4 seconds back. We're going to have a bit of a showdown, I think, for the last 3 or 4 laps of this race.
Yeah, Anderson is right up with Keen now. Keen backing off. He's letting Anderson. That's a smart move.
Yeah, there's no point in them wasting any more time trying to battle. Every time they do that, it's just going to let Benefield pull further and further away. So right now, all they can do is just work together, try and close that gap down as quickly as possible, so that they're not scrabbling to try and make a move on the final lap of the race.
I mean, just from that run up Kemmel Straight, they've already made up some time on Benefield as well. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe Benefield could have gone a bit longer on his fuel and decided just get it in the pits, get the fuel, and get out of there again.
Yeah, I wonder how much of a disadvantage, you probably know this, Conrad, the car has on slightly heavier tanks opposed to a lighter tank, because obviously Dan's had to put a bunch more fuel into that to make it. Has he slowed himself down any? Could he have stayed out longer and actually been slightly quicker on lap times, or does it not make that much of a difference in this little Star Mazda?
Oh, I don't think for the amount of fuel that they're running that it's going to make that big a difference. I mean, coming coming out of the pits, it's only they're limited to 18% of the fuel tank, which roughly is that going to be about 15, 16 liters, roughly something like that. So yeah, I don't think with that amount of fuel is not going to make that big a difference. And you might as well come in a little bit earlier, I reckon, and have less fuel going into the car and save time there.
Yeah, he's seen his strategy. He could have stayed out all the way to the end. They could have actually closed enough pace or enough gap to actually have jumped him, and then he wouldn't have had the slipstream for the last few laps. This way, he's got the track position, I guess. Knows that if they close him up, he will be able to tag on to the back of them, and he's got every chance of a fight. We've seen him put a move on Josh and James in that bus stop chicane countless times already, so he's confident there as well. So he knows that if he's in range on that final lap, then he's got every opportunity to win this race. As Keane goes a little bit wide there.
Yeah, Bearfield might just have to pick it up a little bit if he can.
Yeah, 1 whole second taken out there. Well, 1.1.
Stuck in the fastest lap of the race on that last lap of a 2:18.4.
Have a quick look further back because we haven't really covered anything. No real fights going on. Kent Walker with that late pit stop, he's got himself in 4th place. Amir with the damage that's now been repaired is in 5th place, some 27 seconds off of our leader. Fuji Sartano, good race for Fuji. He was struggling quite a lot in practice, we picked up on that, but race pace seems to be okay, and looking at 6th place at the moment. Vladimir having his issues today. Normally expect to see him a lot further up, several trips to the pits as well. He's in 7th, Christopher in 8th, a little bit further back from Vladimir, about 5 seconds that is. And you've got Martin Carroll and Jordan, who's had a bit of a shocker, it's fair to say. Really, he was in the lead at one point and finds himself closing in on 2 minutes behind now.
Yeah, there's a couple of cars that's not running anymore as well. We've had a couple of retirements.
No AJ, Pierre's gone, Tran's gone, Stephen we saw stick it into the wall at Pouon. Any of those other drivers got high incident points that we might have had a disqualification off camera?
No, Pierre is the only one I can see. The other retirements are all well within the limit. AJ Bear, Ty Tran, Steven Scumph, we know about his troubles in Pouon. And Aaron Hamilton, yeah, he was unfortunately the victim of an incident going through a Rouge.
Looking now, James caught up 0.3 of a second on the Kenmore straight there, so Josh was just getting it close to a second gap. Well, it's came down to 0.6, slowly working its way back up again. So James is really holding on to the slipstream for dear life at the moment, I think, trying to see what he can do. Good couple of corners now. He definitely doesn't need that to drop away, otherwise he'll have no chance of getting up to Daniel. Daniel is quicker than what James is, so they've really been battling due to the draft.
Yeah, James just needs a couple of good corners to just stay in touch with coming up the back straight. Speaking from experience, I know when you're trying to stay in somebody's draft and you just have a bad corner here and there, and you can see the guy in front of you slipping away. He's so desperate just to hang in there.
Sector times. First sector, James much quicker, obviously with the draft, some 0.4 of a second quicker. Second sector, for whatever reason, it's not counted Anderson, so I'm guessing he might have had an off track or something like that in there. Oh, it does flash up just for a second. But he was James was only a 10th or so off Daniel, so yeah, pretty reasonable, pretty close lap for everyone actually. Previous lap as well was very close, right? So 2:19.9 for Benenfield. It was a 1:19.1 Anderson. Very, very quick lap again, gap down to 1.8 seconds, and then keep it a 19.2. So that's just slow lap from Benefield. Cost him a little bit there.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Anderson's going to close up right up to the back of Benefield here. The Star Mazda punches quite a big hole in the air. If you can sort of get anywhere between 1.8 and 2 seconds to the car in front of you, then you're going to start feeling the effect of the draft. And you can see it there on Camel from 1.8, 1.9 seconds right down to 1.4 second gap. So it's nearly half a second he caught up on Camel alone.
Well, we said I think we'll have a 4-lap shootout about 4 laps to go, and I think that is exactly what we're going to get. Pretty sure it's going to take them the rest of this lap to get up to Daniel, maybe even the Camel of the next straight. But it's going to be an exciting showdown to this race for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure James Keane would be happy to see them catching Daniel Benefield as well. If Anderson and Benefield starts fighting, that just gives him another opportunity as well to stay in there and give himself a chance for the win.
No, Benefield's going to fight as well. He's not going to want to give up at all any positions. Saw him at the start of the race as well, being very aggressive around the outside in some corners to try and make these moves. So difficult for these drivers to get a move done and pull away.
Just trying to have a look through the field, see if we've got another fight going on for 4th place. No,
5th. Kent and Fuji.
Yeah, we've got Kent Walker and Fuji Sartono with fighting for 5th place at the moment, so we'll keep a little eye on that one. Fuji's really kept his nose clean for the majority of the race.
I think that's really all he needed to do. I mean, he was really struggling in qualifying. He made the right call just to take it steady during the race, I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the fastest lap times. Kent Walker's fastest lap so far during the race is a 2:20.5, whereas Sartono's is a 2:22.5, so an entire 2-second difference there.
Kent's had some problems actually. I think we've missed something. Conrad, 2:49 for his last lap. That pit stop?
It was a pit stop indeed.
There we go. So he couldn't make it either. He went 1 lap longer than everybody else and still couldn't make it. So
Look, Sartono's only made 1 pit stop so far, so he might be able to. It might explain a bit of the discrepancy in the pace, and just trying to save some fuel, get it to the end on a 1-stopper.
Right, here we go. Back towards the front. Very close now. Half a second separates Josh and James. 9/10 of a second. Benefield definitely well within the draft range. I honestly thought that he would have got a little bit closer this lap, but only 4/10 of a second between them the last time, and that was pretty much all done in the Kemmel straight. But he had a good final sort of straight and Blanchimont here for Anderson. 3 laps to go with 3-car battle.
We've still got people making pit stops. Amir was just in on that last lap as well for his 2nd stop.
Out behind Kent as well, but he was behind Kent anyway, wasn't he? That damage that he had.
Kent is still stuck behind Sartono. I believe Sartono is going to have to make a 2nd pit stop, and he will be coming in at the end of this lap.
Right, top 3 drivers separated by 1.1 seconds now. 3 laps to go. Definitely an opportunity for Josh. What would you do at this point, Conrad? We've seen how much Daniel can fight and overtake. Very, very, very quick. Very good on the brakes as well. Would you go straight by, or would you just wait behind and just do a move on the last lap?
That would all depend on.
Josh
I
just
think we've got
answered that
our
question.
answer.
Yeah. Although, yeah, Benfield late on the brakes, so that's exactly my point. He doesn't want to give in.
Yeah, and see, that's just James is just is right up. I mean, it's starting to go defensive as well. So I mean, yeah, here comes the scrap.
The interesting thing, the way the draft's playing out at Spa as well, is you can drop behind and be more aggressive, and not have to worry about losing time or anything like that. So yeah, even if Josh gets by now, he knows that the guys are going to have another little go at him towards the final lap of the race. And I think James is the one that's being sensible. He's just sitting here waiting, see what's going to go on between these two. If they're going to carry on battling like that, there's a chance there could be a bit of contact, and he could scamper away.
Yeah, I mean, going through this this twisty part of the circuit, there's no real point in trying to stick your nose in somewhere and force the overtake. I mean, if he gets a good run up to the bus stop now, yeah, go for it. I mean, there's a big braking zone into the bus stop, and he can possibly give himself a little gap.
Oh, that's close. Daniel just tucks in behind Josh. Picks up the slipstream. Needed to do that, otherwise I think he'd have lost a place to James as well there, around the outside. That's where Daniel's been extremely quick all race long, although Anderson gets the best exit there, and James also. It's a great drive out of that corner, so it's 2 laps to go, and it's all to fight for now. I think yeah, no drivers agree, gentlemen's agreements out there right now. They are going at it now.
Yeah, well, certainly Eau Rouge is about to get a whole lot more interesting, isn't it?
Already seemed to get through there. Okay, James got a great run on Josh, pulls out the slipstream already. I'm not sure. Oh, we could be 3 wide. It's bent.
Oh, which way are you going?
Three wide into Lacombe. James pulls out of it, doesn't want any of it. Anderson trying to go around the outside again, very similar to last time, just a little bit further back. Benfield gets himself back into that P1 spot.
That's a difficult thing with some of these tracks, with these very long straights. Oh, you can come up with any strategy you want in these little cars. I mean, be sensible, fight for it. Fact is, not very far down the road, there's another long straight, and whoever you just overtook is going to come sailing past you again.
Yeah, exactly that. Thrilling to watch, certainly. But you're going to be having kittens in the car, I think, when you're going 3 wide down the straights like that there. Anderson didn't really know what to do. He wanted to defend from Benfield, but then of course he had James come around on the outside, and in the end it was just better just to go in the middle and just be safe, I think, more than anything.
See, now they've got to run up to the bus stop. James Keane, I think, it's just he's going to sit. Good idea might just make sure you get it to the end first and foremost, and this might be a good chance of an opportunity presenting itself to go for the win on this last lap. By the way, Anderson Benfield scrapping. I mean, he's shown at least that through this last corner he can. He's got the ability to nick a place, as those two in the front get really close to each other.
Final lap of the race then. It really is going to be a huge fight. I think it's going to be a drag race out of that final corner, the way they've done that 3 or 4 times now through this race. Who's going to duck in before for Rouge here? I don't think either of them wants to be. Oh, too wide. Is there? No. Yeah, Anderson sensibly drops in behind. He knows he's going to have the high ground going into Lacombe. James has got himself boxed in. No, he's not. He's going to go through the middle of the pair of them here, I think.
Had nowhere to go there for a second.
Dan pulls back into James's slipstream. He's going to have to do it on the final corner. Great driving from James there. So got a great run on both of them. Just put his car where he needed to, right in the middle. He had the fastest car down there, and late move there from Bedingfield. That'll keep Anderson on his toes if he wasn't already.
Yeah, just make your car visible. Just make sure the guy in front of you know you're there.
Not much going on elsewhere, so hence why we've just been covering this for the last 5 or 6 laps. Everybody else separated out, so we've got James Keane, Josh Anderson, Daniel Benefield 1, 2, 3 here, Kent Walker in 4th, Amir in 5th, Vladimir in 6th, Christopher in 7th, 8th is Fuji, Martin Carroll in 9th, and Mohad Sata in 10th place. So here we are. This is really where it's all going to be, this bus stop. How many times, what do we reckon, 3 wide going into this bus stop?
Benefield's going to get a good run up to the bus stop. He's left himself a little bit of space to the 2 in front.
Watching
Anderson's obviously he wants into the bus stop first. It's probably the safest. I mean, he can pick his line and go defensive. Benefield's going to try and go around the outside.
Oh, he's going to get boxed in.
He's got Keane in his way.
Anderson's going to get it actually there in the end. Benefield just couldn't get alongside quick enough, and Anderson takes it from Keane, and then Benefield. Great race in there, and yeah.
Oh well, I was breathless after that. I think Benefield had possibly went in there with a plan to it. But Keane just taking the racing line, going into the bus stop, that put that plan to waste, and James Keane really threw the cat among the pigeons on that last lap.
Yeah, for Keane it all become about sort of defending from Daniel more than attacking Anderson, and I wonder actually if those two had gone too wide, would we have been 3 wide going across the start-finish line? It's hard to say, but in the end, what a great battle from all 3. Just watching Kent Walker now coming into the bus stop as well. Going to take 4th place here today. Great drive from Kent. Didn't really make any mistakes at all. Good result from him. The Amir coming across then. He's got Vladimir just behind him 2 seconds. Vladimir had a much better second half of the race, but it's too far back to make any real ground. Fuji's going to come across in 7th. He's just working his way towards the bus stop right now as well. That Rothmans Williams. Good drive for him. I thought for a moment he was going to sneak a top 5, but didn't quite happen. Runs out of fuel going across the line, so he must have been very tight, even with that extra pit stop. And someone who's not going to make it is Christopher Buffet here as well. He's chugging. Martin Carroll's coming. Here comes Martin. There you go.
Yeah, he's gonna have him.
Martin's gonna come across in 8th. I'd be surprised if Chris even makes it to the finish line.
Chris is on his knees. He's begging Nat Williams to just slip up that last few drops of fuel.
Oh, here we go. He's gonna just about get it there. Just enough in the tank to splutter up the hill through the bus stop there. Weren't many cars out there today that finished. Just 10 in the well, no, is that 10? That's 9 because Mohad didn't.
Yeah, this is 10 that finished. I think Mo was a lap down, if I'm not mistaken.
But yeah, what an exciting finish at the end there. Those last 3 or 4 laps could have gone to absolutely anyone. Take us through the final race results, please.
Right, winning that race was Joshua Anderson, only a 1/10 of a second behind him, James Keane, and 7/10 behind was Daniel Benefield. In 3rd place. 4th place was Kent Walker, 5th place was Amir Ghani, 6th place Vladimir Marchevsky, 7th place Fuji Sartona, really good result for him considering where he started. 8th place Martin Carroll, Christopher Buffet in 9th. mode Sata in 10th place, and then the retirements we had AJ Bear in 11th, PA Manuel Ubenench in 12th place, Ty Tran in 13th, Steven Scrumpf in 14th place, and Aaron Hamilton in 15th place.
Right, I'm afraid we're going to have to cut this this one a little bit short this morning, but I just wanted to say thank you to you, Conrad, everybody for tuning in and watching it back, all the drivers, Fuji again for organising it. Let's not forget the sponsors as well, grandprix247.com. Head over to them to get your latest fix of Grand Prix news. Obviously, lots going on this weekend with the Formula One at Spa as well. There's been a few incidents, so it looks like tyres are struggling. A few blowouts and things like that there. So it's going to make for an interesting race, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of feedback on that website. So, yep, thank you again, Conrad. We'll see everybody in... What's now again? Let me find it very, very quickly.
Monza next, isn't it?
Yeah, Monza next. So 5th of September. But yeah, so big thanks to everybody again, all the drivers. We'll see you then in a few weeks' time.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.